Baldur's Gate 3 alternative ending. Eldritch Nautiloid ship gets attacked by dragons. The Lithid boy nopes out and teleports to a distant RimWorld. Astarion, Gale, Lae'zel, Shadowheart, Wyll and their new Lithid friend are now stuck on this planet. Will they be able to survive for 100 days to ultimately fight the final raid against the Divine Order? I spent 100 days in RimWorld as the main cast of Baldur's Gate 3 and this is what happened. Let's introduce the crew. This is Astarion. He's an elf vampire, an athletic night owl with a hunger for blood. Next up is Gale, our arcane mage. He's not really good at fighting, but I guess you don't have to do a lot of hand-to-hand combat as an arcane mage, who's also a great crafter. Lae'zel is our Githyanki super soldier with amazing skills. He's going to be our alien builder. Who doesn't want to have an alien builder? And then there's Shadowheart. Not really good at anything, but smashing people's heads in and patching them up afterwards. We have Wyll, our warlock. Also with amazing skills at his arsenal and crazy warlocky spells. And last but not least, we have our special guest Tadpole. Remember him? Yeah, we made a deal with him to take the tadpoles back out again, in exchange for letting him live. In their unexpected survival situation, the newly formed group of strangers had to prioritize shelter and food. Lae'zel and Shadowheart went hunting for gazelle, while the others started cutting wood and built a shelter. They discovered they couldn't use raw wood for the walls and first needed to research this. Instead, we built a wooden box using log walls. They divided tasks, with Gale researching lumber and Astarion helping him with that, while Lae'zel and Wyll worked on the shelter. The food was initially secured through hunting and gathering, but they also needed to set up growing zones for future crops. At the end of day 1, exhausted from their efforts, everyone went to sleep. Except for Shadowheart, who just worked through the night. Within the classes that come with RimWorld of Magic, you can level up. You got the message that Wyll leveled up in his magical abilities, which is great. To steady the food supply, the group decided to hunt some bison. But it didn't really go as expected. Tadpole put down his magical turret in a very stupid place, and Gale used his magic missile ability to weaken the first bison. And then the closed combaters finished him off. However, when we engaged the second bison, they all got a little triggered. It turns out that fighting in close combat with a bison is kinda dangerous, and the team got a big hit, especially Shadowheart and Tadpole. Well, at least we had a ton of food now. Totally worth it. Someone also found some steel ingots around. That was great because we could now make a door out of steel, instead of having to wait for the lumber. Now the shed is actually considered a proper room and can be roofed. I think our bison mold patients are especially happy about that. Although Astarion did his very best cooking the meals above the campfire, his workplace was still lacking a bit of hygiene, as you can tell. Everyone seemed to get food poisoning from his meals, so Lae'zel started constructing the kitchen area. Astarion really appreciated it, because right after she finished it, they fell in love. Spoiler alert! This is going to be even more disgusting than you even think it'll be. The day wasn't so good for Tadpole though. He was still down from the bison fight and he couldn't do his plant work, so the others had to do it for him. To be able to make leather out of hides, we need to dry them on a drying rack. So Lae'zel built one and now Astarion can use it to cure the hides. We didn't really need any clothing right now, but who knows how long we will be here. On the beginning of day 4, I found out that Lae'zel's class super soldier used all kinds of gun powers, which I didn't really want to use in this medieval playthrough. It's too late for me to change it now, so we just roll with it. And we just don't use any of the gun related skills. Oh, by the way, I decided to call the faction the Nautiloid Crashers and name the village after the literal name of the game they originate from. It's a creative masterpiece, I know. The research on how to make timber out of wooden logs was finally finished. I put down the wooden trestle and put Gale to work to craft the first batch of timber. This was an amazing milestone for the group because wood was literally used in everything. Like in the cooking table I wanted to build to aid Astarion in his food production. However, we also needed a bit of granite for that, which we didn't have on the map. Well, the ancient danger was built out of granite. Let's crack that bad boy open. Everyone got in position and the melee fighters started punching the walls down. Inside were only some insectoids, alongside 6 sarcophagi. We funneled the bugs through a hole in the wall into a 1 versus many position, and we made short work of them. Just at the moment the last insectoid went down, Wyll lost his mind and went on an insulting spree. I know it sucks, buddy. We decided to leave the sarcophagi for an unboxing later on. The granite for the cooking table was the most important right now. And after Lae'zel and Wyll gathered some, we started the kitchen renovation. Apparently the crashing of the Nautiloid didn't go unnoticed. Someone from a gang with a kind of offensive name attempted to raid us. He was kinda desperate though, considering it was just a naked guy with a falchion, and he fell with one shot of Wyll's freshly learned Shadow Bolt. We quickly put down a makeshift prison cell next to the base, to keep Tony as Astarion's personal blood bank. There you go, Tony. Time to get better at making life choices. Astarion is a woodsman, and woodsmen come with the ability to bond with animals. It's basically like normal RimWorld taming, but with a greater success chance. When a wild megasloth entered the area, Astarion didn't hesitate and started bonding. Seeing its size, it would be a formidable ally to the colony. Okay, never mind. Hungry for some more action, the group went to open the ancient cryptosleep caskets. Wyll opened them up and the ancients jumped out and had some great gear. We arrested the friendly one, so we could steal her gear, and we shadow bolted the hostile one in an attempt to strip her, which worked out pretty well. There now was amazing loot up for grabs. Astarion got most of it, a chainmail shirt and a very good double crossbow. The hermetic seal had 20 bottles of demon blood potions in it, which is effectively the same as Luciferium from the main game. Dangerous stuff, but we'll soon find out how useful it can actually be. I designed the first basic defensive structures, but realized that our guys were still sleeping on the floor, so I shifted attention to build some new barracks for them. Not a lot of action was happening, so I changed the storyteller from Maynard Medieval to good old Randy. We instantly got a quest from the Shattered Empire to save one of their praetors from a man-hunting cat. They would award one of us with some honor, which is required to rank up in their hierarchy. Let's accept this quest from this self-conceited empire. And let's accept it with Shadowheart, because she was the only one without a class. We clapped the cat and now Shadowheart was a freeholder, ready to start her ceremony soon. By the way, give the video a like and subscribe if you're enjoying it. It really helps the channel out. The very next day we got a quest to fight 3 groups of bandits for a Staff of Paralysis. That sounds useful. Easy enough. Let's accept and wait. In the meantime, let's keep building the base. Check out this new storage area. We also started construction of the smithy. Here we could smelt metals from ore and craft weapons. We also designed a dedicated research room, so they can now toss around paper on a table, instead of on the ground. So much better. Then the first raid from the quest came, which was a pretty rough fight, not gonna lie. They also had a few spellcasters with them, able to do some crazy spells. Just look at this guy. That's a very cool ability. We got pretty beaten up, but we still managed to win. But before we knew it, the second raid came in. Almost immediately, Wyll got knocked out by some kind of psychic beam. We managed to put them down pretty quickly, except for one crazy heavily armored guy. And yeah, that's Gale holding onto his wood right there. Anyway, after a crazy long time, we were able to nuke down the armored guy, and he even survived, so we could now safely steal his armor. Nice. We fought the last group inside of the base and received the Staff of Paralysis. And it only had 2 charges? I'm not really sure if all that fighting was even worth it. But hey, we have a Staff of Paralysis. Our faith is the manifestation of the Absolute. And the people wanted a cleric to start practicing the faith. So I planned out a temple. Faith itself isn't anything special. It's loosely based around the belief in the Absolute from Baldur's Gate. But for our adventurers, it's all they have left from their old lives. Things were looking smooth. I decided to give Astarion's bonding skill another shot and actually managed to bond with the Megasloth. Sweet. Romance is in the air. What is more romantic than digging out a temple? Shadowheart and Wyll actually became lovers in the hole in the ground. This is gonna be great for their mood. Let's use this opportunity to look at what the relations look like after 17 days in this colony. Astarion is still together with Lae'zel. He hates Tadpole and Shadowheart is his daughter? What? Okay, plot twist. But it's fine considering she's a half-elf. Gale also hates Tadpole and he hates Wyll. Lae'zel is kinda okay with everyone except Tadpole. Shadowheart and Wyll are together now and they both hate Tadpole. And Tadpole... Oh my god, that's just so super sad. Everyone straight up hates Tadpole because he's a mind flayer, which is kinda understandable. But he considers all of them to be his friends. Oh, the rejection here is real. He'll never find true connection with these non-illithids. Like the video if you can relate to that. Luckily, he has a little trick up his sleeve that can and will fix this problem eventually. But more on that later. First, we built 2 double bedrooms for the couples in the castle tower to promote some loving. And it worked. Wyll asked Shadowheart to marry him. How sweet. Not long after, Shadowheart accepted the Empire quest to become Geoman. Geoman? Pokemon? What? Anyway, she gained a skill from it. Pain Block, which blocks pain. Yeah, great. I wanted to explore some more of the RimWorld of Magic stuff, so I researched arcane facilities. This opened up a whole new crafting tree with all kinds of magical goodies. On day 20 we got raided by furry people, and thanks to Tadpole's new elemental summons, we managed to kill them pretty easily. Welcome to the club, you two. Get ready to be fed on. What? Lae'zel laid an egg? That's just freaking disgusting, mate. Astarion, why? And how? Okay, I don't even want to know. Let's just protect it and see what comes out, I guess. It was day 25 when I found out that it would take a very long time to research steel, which we would need for weapons. A few moments later we got raided, and one of the raiders had... Oh. I think I forgot to take one mod out. The Fallout Weapons mod. Well, we beat the raid and we got the gun from it. Well, we might as well use it, right? After all, we're on another planet. Another universe, maybe even. So, now I'm done trying to justify keeping the pistol, we can take a look at Riley, our freshly caught prisoner. She's actually a very good character, and we decide to take her prisoner and recruit her later down the line. Astarion uses his insta-heal ability on her and she's ready for conversion. See, converting people while they're still prisoner is just a lot easier. Anyway, with Shadowheart now being the colony cleric, we can now finally perform rituals to aid the colony, like the conversion ritual on Riley. This'll speed up the process. On that topic, we also made her own personal prison cell, with a bit more comfort. She'll join us in no time. Another ritual was performed to make Astarion the leader of the group. This gives him a whole set of new sweet abilities, like work drive, which makes pawns, in this case Gale, work a lot faster. You go, boy. Astarion went on his way to a peace talk with one of our enemies. And I think they were waiting for that, as the Eaters of Gore, what a name is that, attacked us right after Astarion left. But hey, there was an eldritch being with them. We had to capture him to keep Tadpole company. Was he finally getting some love? Wyll tried to shadow bolt him, also hitting Shadowheart and destroying her thumb, but it didn't down him. Tadpole's own magic turret ended his potential eldritch friend. Big sad. And it was all for nothing too, as the peace talk backfired. Poor, thumbless Shadowheart. Anyway, a few days later, an elder black dragon roamed into the map and started hunting our self-tamed boar. Could we... Oh yes, we can. We now tamed an elder black dragon. It's sad we had to evaporate the Megasloth for it, but totally worth it. This thing is extremely strong. You can even draft it like a colonist and directly control it. Meet Carl, who's going to make surviving 100 days a lot easier. Just watch him eat this Thrumbo for lunch all by himself. Time to celebrate with a party. Everyone came together in the dining room to enjoy each other's company. Everyone, except one particular member of the group. They all hated him anyway. The only way for him to be loved is by another Illithid. Fate wouldn't unite him with his kin, so he had to take matters into his own hands. While everyone was enjoying the party, he visited Riley's prison cell and injected his eldritch eggs into her. Astarion found her and anxiously patched her up with his vampiric abilities. But nobody could tell what would become of her when the eggs eventually hatched. Nobody, except one person. Well, let's not cry over it too long. Shadowheart and Wyll are getting married. Hooray! Welcome, mood boost. The next few days were pretty chill. I redesigned the outer walls because they were in dire need of an upgrade. Astarion took Carl out hunting, we made a tailor bench, and found out that we had a lot more tanning to do to make gloves for this winter. Astarion and Lae'zel also got married on our cool new outdoor meeting place, and we made a nice graveyard to bury all of our fallen foes. Everything was just fine. Until baby Radaballo was born. Lae'zel's disgusting Githyanki egg hatched and turned into this half-elf, half-Githyanki kid. How lovely. Well, let's just take good care of him. But Lae'zel, Astarion, is this really the time and place you want to have kids in? 1 month in, lost on an alien planet? Oh well, who am I to judge? Lae'zel, the great mother she is, made Radaballo a crib made out of bone. And Astarion, don't look at me like that. It was your choice, not mine. The colony was coming together pretty nicely. The eastern fortifications are almost done, and Lae'zel and Wyll are working hard on the south ones too. Everyone is happy, except for Riley. The parasitic implant Tadpole gave her is causing her some trouble, and although she's a masochist and loves pain, She doesn't really like the parasite that she feels wriggling inside of her. After a few days, she was unconscious and hardly even breathing, unable to do anything. Shadowheart kept feeding her whilst actually only feeding the parasite, until the moment was there. Riley was lying there, unconscious on the ground when her chest burst open and baby Baldur was born. I was kinda disappointed. I hoped she was going to turn into a full-blown mind flayer. And instead we are left with another baby. A baby that is hated by everyone. Well, I hope that'll be the last. Oh god. Welcome to Baldur's Daycare. In an attempt to add some useful colonists to the group, Astarion converted our prisoner lover to our faith and gave her some of the demon blood to try and cure the cancer she had. Once you use demon blood, you're instantly addicted. It didn't cure the cancer this time, but hopefully it will with a future dose. It's now day 52 and winter is ending. We redesigned the farms to be less centralized and give it a more natural look. And although there was nothing planted in them yet, it already looks a lot better. We planted some hop seeds too to make beer this season. Once the honeymoon happiness wears off, they will need something to fall back on. RimWorld is much more realistic than you might think. A few days later it was the 4th of April, the only holiday the followers of the Absolute have each year apparently. However, the Absolute was not happy with us celebrating, as the party was interrupted by a flash storm setting the base on fire. What a bummer. Our misfortune wasn't over yet. We got raided by the Divine Order. They attacked us with formidable force, but although we could handle the raid, we had to destroy their faction. Who knows what they are capable of? They have great weapons and armor, and cruel as they are, they send a 14-year-old kid out to fight their wars. Their base was very close to ours. All of the colonists agreed. On day 100, the Divine Order will be crushed. Yay, good news! Lover joined the colony. She's a great researcher and fighter. Finally someone that adds value to the colony. Yes, I'm looking at you, babies. You small, useless, dirty fuck. And another one. Welcome, Breaksos. I do like the skeptical look on your face, though. Let's make you a nice bone crib inside of Baldur's Daycare. I think it's time to move Gale and Tadpole out of there and make it into a proper daycare. I think they'd prefer to sleep in the town walls instead of in between 3 newborns. I know I would. We're getting attacked by the Wasters again. At first glance, nothing special, but they have a chrono monster with them. Chrono monsters apparently have a skill that can accelerate age. We could use it to age the babies and make them into useful colonists. We had to capture Peter von Bergen, the chrono monster. They attacked us from the east and the crew rushed out to do a surprise attack. Astarion used the Staff of Paralysis which we got from the quest to instantly down Peter, and somehow put him on fire too. Peter has pretty good skills too, and he hates women, while now being imprisoned together with a woman. Good luck, the two of you. We'll now try to convert and recruit him as soon as possible, so we can use the accelerate time spell on the babies. There will be no more crying babies, only sweaty teenagers. I don't actually know if that's an improvement. Anyway, let's take some time to look at our progress. I really like the new layout of the farms, it's a lot more organic. The kitchen is also looking very good. There are storage shelves now and a campfire, which is solely used to make baby food. We're also really happy to have Lover with us. She's a pretty good pawn and has very good skills. I hope he can tend to the carcinoma on her leg without having to amputate it. Tadpole is happy now. It hasn't been easy for him with everyone hating him, but he now has a baby, who's also an eldritch being. Finally someone that will love him back. Astarion is our leader and social guy, and with this many babies around, his full-time job is feeding and playing with the children. Remember this, buddy? Once this seemed like a great idea. Just try and hold on to that. We are not hearing a lot from Lae'zel, but she's doing great. She's getting lots of love in. And lots of children too at that. Shadowheart is also doing great. Now that Astarion is a full-time babysitter, Shadowheart does most of the cooking. She's also our priest. She's getting a lots of loving too, but luckily no children. Wyll is also doing quite good. Well, except for the malaria, he'll be fine. Gale is still the man. He is single, but clearly happy about it. Together with Astarion, he spends most of the time looking after the children. And of course there are the babies. The greatest idea for an expansion ever. Since everyone is doing quite well, I thought it'd be a great time to add some more roads for better aesthetics, plus getting around faster. We also started expanding the storage area, because we just had far too much stuff around. Sadly, the demon blood still isn't really working for Lover. Instead of curing the carcinoma, it's starting to grow now. Good luck with that. After a while, we got another quest for the Empire, making Shadowheart able to rank up again. It would spawn 2 insect hives, which is a good trade-off. Right after the fight with the insects, a random geologist named Salazar wanted to join. I accepted her, but was still kinda sus, because she also had great skills. We did keep her though. Let's just hope she doesn't turn on us. We finally managed to fully convert Peter to our faith, which was great. We could now start recruiting him. We got him a more luxurious bedroom, which will speed up the process. And we now also had a spare room in our prison to imprison Salazar. She was also of a different faith, and in RimWorld it's a lot easier to convert prisoners opposed to colonists. So enjoy your jail time. Oh god, what? The Staff of Paralysis used to knock Peter down gave him some serious brain damage. He's only like 40% functional. We turned the most important solution to our infant problem to a literal imbecile. Hi, I'm Peter von Bergen, the mentally challenged chronomancer. This is so bad. Oh well, okay. The mentally challenged chronomancer was recruited to the colony. Soon we will be able to use his accelerate time skill on the children. Let's try it on Rodobalo. Finally, What? He resisted? And Peter just dropped on the ground because he's mentally incapable and used a spell? What a freaking joke. Luckily, it's not only bad news. Gale had a Taming inspiration, and we had a named Elder Dragon named Ryu enter the map. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Let's go! Carl now has a dragon buddy. Aw, our dragon's not cute. What? No! Oh god, no. Belle! Belle is torn to death by a mad Meadow Ave. Ave? Whatever. Oh my god, Gale. Your sense of humor, dude. Poor Tadpole, oh god. Just lost his daughter to a mad bird. The only one in the colony that actually loved him. Oh, you will be missed, little one. At least the funeral was amazing. And finally, we've hit day 100. Time to prepare for war. We equipped everyone with the best we had. Shadowheart got the noble sword, which was really good, and Salazar stayed behind to take care of the kids and the one prisoner we had left. Ryu would also stay with her, in case the colony got attacked. He'd make a fair chance against the medium-sized group. And there we go. Oh, come on, Peter. Hurry up, will ya? What a guy. The group was on their way to their destination, not knowing what to expect when they arrived. Ready your weapons. It's time for war. The town was kinda small, a lot smaller than I thought, but the gladiators and the paladins walking around were no joke. Time to show them who's boss. We sent in Carl to take the aggro and tank them, and Tadpole spawned his elementals to assist him. The enemies did a lot more damage than I expected, and we had to retreat Carl before he'd take too much damage while we kept attacking them with ranged attacks. The enemy was already retreating, and we were shooting the deserters that were left over. However, I was too distracted by Tadpole trying to down the paladin to see that Wyll was already heavily damaged. And then Wyll was shot to death by Daniel with an arrow to the heart. Everyone was furious. Daniel almost escaped, but Gale managed to teleport him back, and they smashed that stupid grin off his face. Shabralino Cove was conquered, and all of its weapons were there for the taking. We destroyed the Divine Order, a retaliation for the attacks on our colony. But at what cost? The loss of a powerful warlock, the Blade of the Rim, a friend, a husband. Was it all worth it? I survived 100 days as the main cast of Baldur's Gate 3 in RimWorld. A lot of crazy stuff had happened. It was a lot of fun to play, really. I'll share the mod pack in the description. Hit the like button if you dare and subscribe for more content like this. As always, a very special thanks to my patrons for supporting me. You guys are special. Like Peter, he's also special. And while you're still here, why not check out the next video? Thanks for watching. Bye.